you hear me okay?
Kinda. You sound very muffly.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like
Dude.
it sounds like ear rape.
What? Dang it. Okay, what if I take my hood off? Is that any better?
No, it's not.
No.
No?
I mean, you look
Okay.
great though.
I might just have to sit in the truck then, because if this isn't gonna work, then yeah.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Whiff of the Midwest podcast, episode 8, I think.
I don't know. Who cares at this point?
I think this is episode 8.
If anybody's still watching these, kudos to you, because we're certainly not.
Just very quick. Is everyone recording their own audio? Everyone's.
I am.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, we should be good.
Yeah, we're actually doing the professional thing this time around.
Yeah.
Because some of the previous episodes were recorded directly through Discord, and so we were at the mercy of the internet and the bandwidth. So this time...
She is a cruel mistress.
Yeah. So we've got Ivan here with us today. Say hello, Ivan.
Hello.
Hello, Ivan.
Hi, everybody.
Hello. I love the visual we've got going on here. I'm sitting here, I'm the hermit in a hoodie, and Ivan's in his truck.
And I'm not here at all.
Look at my truck, everybody.
Yeah,
give us a MTV Cribs tour of your truck there, Ivan.
Let's get that's the middle row. Here's my fishing net. And that's the back row. And this is my awesome sound board, I don't know.
Soundboard?
I got an awesome sound system and stuff.
Nice.
Nice. We're gonna have to put some really cheesy 2000s rock music over that for that tour, Kyle. Welcome to my MTV Cribs tour. I've got a sound system.
Awesome.
All right, that's it.
Yeah.
Welcome to my truck.
I
don't know what you expected. It's a truck.
Like the Tahoe.
Or we could put some country music over that and be like, I love my truck.
Yeah, very.
I
love my truck and my dog because my woman left me.
Yes.
Oh, what's that? There, I ruined it video. How's that go? I got a beer in my beer and a Chevy in my truck. Got a dog at the wheel. Cut off Gene's truck. Something like that.
Yeah, I think you got it.
Man. Dirt road, back road, beer moonlight. something Friday night. It brings me flashbacks to the place I worked at before coronavirus hit, and Big Country. I forget what the radio station was. I know it was called Big Country, but it just played the same 20 songs or the same 10 songs.
Maybe they were playing 150 different songs, but because it's country, they just all sound the same.
No, they were the same 8 songs.
I mean, most country songs use the same 4 chords and the same themes, so it could have been a whole bunch of different songs, Kyle.
No, I swear it was 8. If it was 150, there were very subtle different versions.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Or maybe it was the same 8 songs, sung by 20 different artists each, or something like that.
It's all just a cover of the same 4 songs.
So nobody knows who originally came up with it, but it doesn't matter because they all live in the same suburb. So
they live a block from each other.
Yeah,
they live
they're all in the same block around Nashville.
I moved out to Nashville so that I could start my country music career by recording the same song that all the other country artists record as well. That's how you make it in this in this business.
Perfect.
That goes against all logic.
Exactly. And yet, here they are, and that's what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You find me a truly original country song that does not have the same themes as every other country song, and then I will take back my words. But until
anything that's not modern country.
Exactly. Okay, yeah, that's just true. Like, I will jam out to some good old Marty Robbins. Absolutely. He's
or
great.
If it's indie folk, I consider that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because they're like
I would
actually
say
in the country.
at this stage in the music industry, anything indie is probably better than anything else that you're going to find.
Indie folk, I feel like, is what the original true country became.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I feel like it evolved into folk rock music, which I really do love. Like, I hate modern country with a passion, and I would rather, drive a spork into my eardrums than listen to it. But you put on, like, Lumineers or something like that. Indie folk rock is fantastic stuff. It's
Yes.
fantastic stuff. Love it.
I know Dad likes Gordon Lightfoot. I don't know how country that would be, but like,
Yeah, I'm not sure what he qualifies as. I could look it up. Let's check this out.
I just call it Gordon Lightfoot.
Yeah, what genre of music is this? Oh, it's Gordon Lightfoot.
Mm-hmm.
I can go on the old spot of stats.
Let's see. Gordon Lightfoot. It just says he's Canadian. What?
What genre,
of music?
No, Canadian is a genre.
Canadian is a genre. Let's see. Literally everything just says Canadian. Oh my goodness, what genre? Oh, he's folk rock, according to Google.
Folk rock. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Canadian folk rock singer and songwriter. So yeah, there you go. If it says country in front of it, I don't want to listen to it. If it says folk rock, heck yeah, I'll go for it. Let's give it a good old listen.
Mm-hmm. So Ivan, were you actually fishing this morning?
I was, yeah. I got about an hour in.
Okay. Did you catch anything?
Didn't catch anything. Although right when I said that I was going to walk back to the truck, I saw a big fish in the water, and I'm like, oh, of course. So then I tried casting at it, and it just wasn't biting. So
he knew.
They're just not hungry today, I guess.
They knew you were leaving. I guess they're just like, well, all right, boys, it's safe to go out.
Yeah, literally, like I said, all right, let me just go back to the truck, and then literally I look in the water and I just see, and I'm like, bro. Wow. Fishing can be like that. Sometimes it feels like Mother Nature is like playing a game against you.
Yeah, that sounds about right. It's like when you build something cool out of Legos when you're like 12, and then you want to show your mom and dad, and then the second you bring it out to them, you like drop it on the floor and it breaks into 1,000 pieces.
Oh, pain.
Yes.
Wow, it was totally fine right up until I decided, hey, I should show this off.
Fishing can feel very spiteful. Like, I went up to a pretty decent lake a couple weekends ago. Had a decent fish on my line, but I lost it because I forgot one step in my fishing knot. So I lost my bait and I lost the fish. The bait's probably still hooked in the fish to this day. I don't know where the fish is dead. Well, that fish
he's probably got it like mounted on his wall, dude. That's a trophy. Yeah. It's like, yeah, right. I got away from a I got away from a white boy, and it was pretty big. Thought he had me, but I got away.
That fish was haunting me for like 2 weeks, and so then I went back to the same lake, being like, okay, I'm going to redeem myself. This time, I had a fish on my line. I lost it again, but I didn't lose the bait this time because I actually tied the knot correctly. And then I tried a different spot. and literally, just as I was lifting the bait out of the water, I saw a northern pike go for it, but it missed.
Oh.
And like I saw it, and so now instead of redeeming myself, I have 3 fish haunting me, and so it just feels like Mother Nature's being very spiteful right now.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah,
And so now I got to go back because I got these fish haunting my dreams. Like, what if?
It's like a gambling addiction.
Yeah.
It's like, did you know that 99% of fishers quit before they catch a fish? It's like, I gotta go back.
It sounds
I can feel it. I gotta win big this time.
The lake always wins.
Yes.
Yep.
It sounds
You
like
don't get it.
it's like being a Denny Hamlin fan. This cast is the cast. Next cast will be the cast. This cast the cast.
I did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong.
Any Minnesota sports team, just like, oh, this will be the year.
This year's the year.
I got a good feeling about.
Next year will be the year. It's like being
it's next year. Don't worry, we'll get it next time.
Being a Vikings fan in a nutshell. Must be so frustrating.
Somehow we're always hopeful.
Yeah, always hopeful, and then always have the hopes dashed. However, somehow, it's like Minnesota Vikings fans are basically the definition of like, hoping and having faith in their team, because every time they are disappointed and every time they are let down, and yet every time they're like, no, we got it. We got it. Super Bowl for sure this year.
And it literally is, because this year they got like probably one of the best quarterbacks out of Michigan, and he looks really good. And so yeah, I know everybody's riding with him now.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we've got this guy now, so it'll be different.
This year's the year.
We've got some young blood. We got rid of the old guy.
That's all it takes. Get rid of the boomers, and then
yep.
And now we will be successful.
Now watch Denny Hamlin actually win a championship this year.
Now that you've talked smack, yeah.
Could you imagine?
I mean,
it
he definitely could, but I don't know. Somehow he always seems to miss out. So
yeah, every single time, every single year, it always seems to. It's just something out of the blue happens.
Yeah, like 2 years ago, it was literally some guy riding the wall like a video game move. Like something that nobody would ever think of in real life.
My favorite moment in sports ever. Like, I don't care about sports in general, but that moment was top tier. Like, I loved that. It was so cool.
That move kept Denny Hamlin from making it to the championship round.
Oh man,
he was literally.
I'd be pissed, but also like you'd be pissed for like half a second because you're like, oh dang it, I missed out on that. But then you look back at how it would happened, and I would be impressed. I could only be impressed at that point.
Yeah. I think that's kind of how Denny took it as well. The funny thing is, though, those two drivers are also like kind of rivals,
right?
So that only made it better.
I think what was it Pocono that Denny was like, okay, Ross, you're coming with me. So he just put him into the wall, and then they both went back.
Yeah, and then Denny Hamlin acted like he did nothing wrong.
Yeah, like I listened to that podcast, the one that got him in trouble, and he just straight up like, yeah, I was going back anyways. I might as well just bring him with me. I'm like, you jerk.
Actually, that was Phoenix last year.
Was it Phoenix?
Spring race.
Oh, okay.
I think it was.
Okay.
Pocono is where.
Or was that Kyle Larson?
That was Kyle Larson.
Okay.
That's where Denny Hamlin was like, well, he has the choice to lift, and it's like, yeah, why do you expect him to lift?
It's like
How about you
gaslighting.
lift, buddy?
And now he's like in like the top 5 in points right now. He's got so many wins.
I am literally watching some guy on the bank try to stomp on a fish.
What?
Yeah, he like caught a decent sized fish and he just like kind of threw it on the ground and was like trying to step on it and it's just like thrashing around.
Oh man, it reminds me of like I was hanging out at a friend's house one time and they had like it was like one of those pre-built like neighborhoods, one of the neighborhoods that's like named like Oak Ridge or something like that,
Like
Yeah.
cookie cutter.
And yeah, and so they had a pond with a fountain in the middle, and there was like these 2 middle school kids who were fishing in it, and so they caught something in this pond in the middle of this residential neighborhood, and the kid just takes it and just like football spikes it off a bike trail.
Oh my gosh.
In front of like this family of people. Oh, so funny.
I'm imagining Gollum being like,
Oh, yeah, sitting there saying to himself, "Oh, so sweet." Oh.
Yeah, that's neighbor's kid energy right there.
Oh, very much. It's just like, why don't you go hang out with the neighbor kid? Meanwhile, he's spiking a fish off of a bike trail, and you're like, Mom, do I have to?
I think I won't.
Please, I don't want to. He's weird.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Wow.
But yeah, back to NASCAR. Who you?
Oh yeah, we were talking about NASCAR.
Yeah, Ivan. Who you picking? Who you considering for your fantasy lineup?
I mean, it seems like Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson are always, like they seem like the top tier this year, and William Byron's always in it. Martin Truex is always in it. I mean, there's always like the top 4 or 5 guys, but it's always different every week, and it's so impossible to predict at this point. You gotta pick like some kind of random wild card guy who you think is gonna randomly be amazing today for no reason,
Right.
And then he's gonna suck the next week. So I don't know. I'm just gonna wait until qualifying and then just kind of go off of that.
Yeah, and the winner at today's Kansas Speedway is Carson Hocevar. Just
somebody random. Oh well, but I mean, 2311 is definitely a team I'm keeping an eye on because for some reason they just hit the setup at Kansas really well. So there, and then Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, and then beyond that, it's a toss-up.
So it's basically just 3 teams. You got Hendrick, Joe Gibbs, and 2311. 2 of them are Toyotas. One of them's Chevrolet, and where's Ford?
Yeah,
Ford's nowhere. They're in trouble this year.
I'd pick the Toyota if I were you.
Just no bias there whatsoever, huh?
No, none whatsoever.
Yeah, Reese doesn't drive a Camry. He hasn't driven the same Camry.
Watch NASCAR? I don't watch NASCAR. How can I be biased? Aha! Loophole. I do kind of want to watch NASCAR again with you guys, though, because that was very entertaining watching you guys be into it.
I mean, Kansas puts on a great show.
It does. But also that one race that we watched together, that to this day is still like one of the best finishes I've ever seen.
Oh, it was great. And it was like, especially like because I was just sitting watching the race and like they're driving in circles. Meanwhile, you and Kyle are like standing up from the couch, like, oh. It was great. It was great. It was most fun I've ever had watching sports.
Quintessential NASCAR right there. You spend
that's the thing like I never would have gotten into football if it weren't for Bree and how excited she gets over it.
Right.
Like it is kind of contagious when you see somebody else like really getting a kick out of it.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Like when Sam and Rachel watch hockey, it is hilarious.
Oh my word! Oh, I gotta see that.
Rachel watching hockey is the only person that I've ever seen match Sam's energy in terms of just like flipping out. It's so funny, dude. It's so funny.
I'm trying to wrap my head around Sam flipping out ×2.
It's wild, dude. It's wild.
I don't know if I can fathom that.
It's just like constant screaming. It's so funny.
Well, what is funny is like Sam's in our fantasy league in NASCAR, and every week we'll usually get on the Discord, and the funniest thing is always like the final few laps when you're when you're gonna find out who's gonna win, and like I kid you not, every time like all I hear is like Sam freaking out, but his voice is like kind of cutting in and out. So it just kind of sounds like, and I'm like,
Perfect.
It cracks me up every time because it's like it's like fragmented, losing his mind.
Yeah, you get these like brief, like half-second glimpses into the insanity.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great.
It's funny because on pretty much any given week, Sam and Ivan are ahead of me in the broadcast. I'm usually like 30 seconds behind.
Mm-hmm.
So I hear them freak out, and then I'm going, okay, here we go. What's gonna happen?
I always have to ask them, being like, okay, do you guys want spoilers or not?
Give me the spoilers. I really don't care. I want to hear your reaction. I'm going to see it in 30 seconds anyways.
Yeah.
But I remember that Talladega finish. With
he was definitely losing his mind over that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was... Let's see, it was going to be Ford's day. It was going to be the 34 or the 6.
Yeah, and then Michael McDowell decided to be really stupid. When it comes to NASCAR and super speedway racing, I feel like you get one good block. Beyond that, you're at the mercy of whoever's behind you. So
yeah.
He tried to take way too many blocks, and that was just stupid. And
one does not simply double block Brad Keselowski.
Yeah, it's like, you can't just do that. I mean, you can block him once, but then after that, you just have to hope that somebody comes behind you and pushes you.
Uh-huh. And that's
but the dude literally came across like four whole lanes just to block. I'm like, in what universe did you think that was going to work out?
That's just another level of like, you know what? Screw this guy in particular. Even if it costs me everything, I'm gonna do my best.
Well, and the other thing is, like, they're both Fords, and like Ford doesn't have a win this year. Like, you'd think you'd be a little bit more logical. Like, okay, as long as one of us two wins for Ford, you know. But no.
That's got to be all or nothing.
It's either me or nobody.
Uh-huh. It's ridiculous. Like, I don't know. Is it the win and you're in kind of rule as far as championships are concerned? Like, it could have been like you're guaranteed a spot.
Well, that is the other thing. Like, Michael McDowell, like, yeah, his team has gotten like tier 1 funding from Ford, but they still haven't figured out all the data yet, and so because of that, super speedways are really still his best shot at getting in. And the odd road course, sometimes he can do well. So if he's up front like that at a super speedway, I feel like in his mind it's like, it's win or nothing. But I don't know. I still just feel like you have to use your brain. And if Brad Keselowski's coming on the inside, like literally 4 lanes down from you, you can't actually expect to come all the way across the track and block him. You know? I just feel like that's just logic.
Hey, nothing
like
risked, nothing gained, man.
Yeah.
It's just, that guy has a can-do attitude.
He came down. It's nerf or nothing. Just.
If I don't do it, nobody will.
No, actually, 36 other guys will.
It's just, yeah, a lapse in judgment for sure.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, that was so disappointing. I mean, great for Reddick and the 45, and the fact that Michael Jordan was actually there.
Yeah, that was a cool moment.
Yeah, made for great TV, I guess. But yeah. But at the end of the day,
wonder how NASCAR feels about Michael Jordan though, because 2311 Racing, which is owned by Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin, do seem like probably the most disruptive team as far as the new TV and charter equipment.
Oh yeah, like I noticed. I think Michael Jordan recently made some comments on the charter ordeal that's going on, and the whole like the teams versus NASCAR.
Yeah, I'm sure NASCAR's got to feel conflicted about this because Michael Jordan in the sport is like got to be like the best thing they could possibly hope for at this stage.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, they are very much in disagreement on, what they should do for the next deal. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm just wondering like how NASCAR really feels about him at this point.
Yeah, well, we shall see. I don't know. Like NASCAR, they really like their control, and especially with this charter thing, it seems like they're losing it.
No, well, I don't know. Ultimately, they do have the power, and they're just trying to keep the power as much as they can. The real question is, how far are the teams willing to go to counter NASCAR's power? And the other question is, how many teams are even on the same boat? Because 2311 they're kind of the front runner of the whole rebellion, but I don't know how many other teams are really aligned with them, because it seems like the good old boys like Hendrick and Gibbs and Penske, like they actually seem like they're a little bit more content to just take the deal that NASCAR is trying to give them. It's really the newer, younger ownership that wants things to change a little bit.
The track houses, the 2311s, the front rows, the
Yeah.
spires.
This sounds like a dissertation on like political tensions in
It
Europe.
kind of is. It really
it's
is
fascinating to listen to.
Yeah, you never knew there was so much that went into NASCAR, did you?
Yeah.
It really does sound like it's.
But just like it's unclear whether the new generation wants to undermine the political power of the. It's just like if this deal goes through, it could. It really just sounds like it's like the Cold War,
Well, they're literally
if diplomacy
talking,
goes sideways.
they're literally talking like if the charters don't become permanent, teams might just like not show up to certain races they don't feel like showing up to.
Right.
Like that's the level that we're at now. Like teams literally just saying, "Hey, we're not going to race this time because we don't have to." But that's a major problem because the teams bring the star power.
Right.
So, yeah, it'll just be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah. We'll kind of see if which teams are more pragmatic or idealistic or what.
Yeah.
Because money. I think a lot like money is really big when it comes to convincing people. Like they're like,
Well, I mean, anytime you've got a big anything, money becomes a major factor. Like it doesn't matter what the business is for. You know, at a certain point, money becomes the main priority of the business because it's about making profits. You know.
yeah.
So, but it is interesting to see how that affects the game.
I get, at the very least, it could just be like no Ricky Stenhouse or Harrison Burton at some races, or no front row, even maybe, I don't know. But and like NASCAR might be fine with that as long as like Hendrick and Gibbs and Penske are showing up. Like if they're not showing up, there's a problem.
Yeah.
I doubt that would happen.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right. Let me just check here. 40 minutes in. Doing pretty good.
Wow, 40 minutes of NASCAR.
40 minutes of NASCAR.
Not what I would have expected.
Let's see. Is there anything
40 minutes of Reese sitting in the corner going, yes, I see.
You've been working on
That's true. I am working on stuff in the background.
yeah, you're working on stuff, yeah. Yeah, so here on With the Midwest, it's kind of, this channel has kind of been relegated to just kind of random stuff, whatever. I mean, it always has been. But I think in light of my new Minecraft channel, I think this channel will very easily take on a more behind-the-scenes role.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it already has. I mean, we're not exactly, gaining numbers on this channel, so
we've only been...
It just exists.
I mean, we've only been...
We're stagnant at
views.
best.
Stagnant at best. I mean, we did recently get a small subscriber spike.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think...
I haven't even been paying attention.
Yeah, but like we're in the high 40s now, which is the most that this channel has ever been at.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
hey, you should try making some of those memes that I suggested. Maybe
gosh, I still need to do that.
You become a meme channel.
Oh no.
Let's go. We could do TikTok reactions.
So like here's one of the memes I thought up of, okay? So like in Star Wars Attack of the Clones when Anakin is like being all weird with Padme and Padme goes, "Don't look at me like that. It makes me uncomfortable." And then you should cut in the Old Country buffet guy going like, "All right."
I could just upload that as a clip just to the channel, just With the Midwest.
You know what, Ivan, we gotta just give you access to the channel and you can just start posting random memes. People will be like, what the heck? What's going on?
I need Kyle to edit them though, because I don't have editing.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
Present to learn, my friend.
Yeah, Mom's got.
What's the other one that I was thinking of?
It was the nostalgia one, like the 2000s kids.
Oh yeah, Reese, do you know the Aquatic Ambience song from Donkey Kong?
I'm sure I do, but I can't think of it off the top of my head.
I'm gonna pull
There's
it up.
all these reels going around being like, it's like 2000s and 90s kids being like, oh, do you remember the like the rainbow tarp that we played with in gym class, and like all these like, oh, Kyle's playing it.
Yeah, maybe hold it closer to the mic.
Aw.
What happens if I just pull it up on YouTube?
Oh yeah, because we can watch YouTube directly over Discord now.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna load up YouTube, and stay full screen. Let's see now.
Wait, can you guys hear that at all?
No, I cannot.
Sure. Okay. So how do you
I'm doing it off of. I've got desktop. Oh yeah, Can you guys hear that?
No.
No? Ah! Dang it.
What if you here. Let's see. It's the Donkey Kong underwater theme.
Something like that. Let's see, I'm gonna... How do you close YouTube? Let's see.
Let's see, what if I share my screen?
Alright, yeah, we can
Will
just...
that also...
Yeah, we can just do that. Gosh, I don't know how this... Oh, yeah, hang on, let me watch the... Oh, that's a little different.
Different?
Yeah, it is.
Let's see.
Oh, whoops, I turned off my camera.
What about this one?
Yes. Yes, I can.
That's it?
Yeah, that's the one.
So basically just this, but reminiscing over early 2000s life?
Yes.
Yeah.
Literally that.
It should just be like, hey, do you guys remember when we actually posted videos to YouTube?
Yeah.
So what I was thinking is take that song, but make it ear rape.
Just like deep fry it. Just...
Yeah.
Remember when Whiff of the Midwest used to be halfway decent?
Remember when all we did was skits and vlogs? Remember the last time we did a vlog?
And then the music just goes...
Or it could just be like, you could just title it like 90s kids whenever they see anything nostalgic.
Yeah,
and just,
right.
Yeah.
90s kids when they see anything that's older than a Wii.
Yeah.
Which I know the Wii came out 2006, but still.
90s kids when they hear that anyone was born after the year 2000.
Yeah.
Because we are the superior specimens.
Truly, I am a dying breed.
I like to tell my my younger cousins, because I've got some cousins who are like under the age of 10. I like to tell them that I'm already dying because I'm over 20, and so it's just like, yes, I am not long for this world. I was born in the bygone era of 1999. You know? They're like, what? 1 foot in the grave, as they say. Hopefully, if God allows it, I'll make it to next year.
Nice.
I joke about that, but I will be 25 this year, and that's a quarter of a century, so it's...
Yeah, same. That's, yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I shouldn't talk like that. 25 is still kind of dope. We're going to be like 40 before we know it, and we'll go, remember when we were 25?
And we thought that was old? Oh, man. I want to be like the 45-year-old that's already got, like, deep onset dementia, you know? Somehow I'm just like just horrible Alzheimer's at the age of 42.
Back in my day, they made the same gaming consoles, but with transparent plastic. It was the fashion at the time.
I forgot about the transparent plastic.
Okay, everybody looks at that and they're like, oh, dude, back when we were a proper country, I hated the transparent plastic look. I thought it looked stupid.
Seems like there was a computer lab at one of the schools we went to that had all, like, transparent plastic.
Yeah, it's I don't know why that was such a big thing.
And
It
so
seems
many,
like it's like, oh, you have a popular technology, make it transparent, colorful plastic now.
yeah. And also all the different calculators, like, before smartphones were widespread,
Yeah.
like everyone had different shaped calculators.
Yeah, and then you would like form factions based on what shape calculator you have.
Or what color, or, yeah.
It's like, oh, you got a T85, you get to be in the you get to be in the higher upper echelon of society.
Yeah. Anything less than that is plebeian.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were a peasant. You don't get to sit by our cafeteria table.
Yeah.
Uh,
like yeah, I kind of like the fact that I went to school before smartphones were widespread. I think it was mostly before 2013, 2014 that I started seeing more of that. I mean, there were some kids who had smartphones before then, but a lot of them usually just had like little phones or like flip phones.
yeah. I mean, that's what I had all through high school. Like, I
Yeah,
think it wasn't until senior year that I actually got a smartphone.
I think I was a sophomore if I remember right.
Yeah, I could have.
I was a sophomore when we got smartphones, I
Okay,
think.
so I would have been a junior then.
That was mostly because of my parents wouldn't allow us to have a smartphone until we were like driving and going places on our own. And they're like, fine, now you can buy an actual cell phone.
Mm.
Which is good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
I've seen toddlers running around with their own smartphones,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's like, nah, I don't need to do that.
iPad generation.
Yeah. Ugh. Yikes.
I don't know, man. Watching like
I remember when
We'll see how they turn out.
watching YouTube brain rot.
Yeah. I remember when it was my freshman year and kids found out that I still had a flip phone. Like they all wanted to like look at it and take it apart and examine it.
This ancient technology.
Yeah.
Yeah, this has actual buttons.
You can butt dial the cops with this phone.
You can. Although to be fair, my Samsung can also technically butt dial the cops because there's like a system on the touchscreen that's like you don't have to unlock the phone to be able to call the police because it's like an emergency number, so it's you've always got access to it then without having to unlock the phone. But so on occasion, if it's like a hot day and the phone's in my pocket, it will accidentally call emergency services.
Oh gosh. Oh, that's
Which is super embarrassing because then they have to call me back because I don't realize I'm on the phone with emergency services. And they're like, "Are you in danger?" I'm like, "No, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." I've had to do that on multiple occasions where I'm like, "I'm so sorry. My phone called you because it's warm." And
I saw
it
I saw a news story once where people's cell phones, like people would ride roller coasters with their cell phones and the phones would think that they were in a crash, so they would call emergency services.
Yes. Yeah. Oh man. You appear to be in life-threatening danger.
Like they're dialing OnStar. Like,
Let me call the police for you.
I mean, if you're riding a Vacoma, fair enough. You probably need an ambulance when you get off. Other than that, like you're probably all right.
Oh man.
Remember that?
Tacoma, Togo, RCCA, yeah, any of those manufacturers. Old aerodynamics,
Yeah.
like a corkscrew,
Oh, those things.
where the seats are built like they're meant to fit an alien creature.
Oh yeah.
It's so bad for your back posture. Like you gotta like scrunch yourself in because it's the
We're
overhead
gonna give you
restraints.
scoliosis.
Yeah.
Well, it's weird because like
ride.
the overhead restraints, like if you have like a taller torso, it's weird because like you'll be sitting normal and the restraint is still like out here. So the only way you can get it down is if you're like
hunched over
like
while
that.
sitting. Yeah.
And meanwhile, the ride was built before computers, so that means that they don't know what progressive banking means.
So
And
so you're
then
just
all
going
the-
down straight and then boom, you know.
It's like, we're turning now.
Yep, pothole. Basically.
There's a pothole
and also
on the roller coaster.
Yeah.
Oh, literally. Yeah, we call them potholes, where it's like, I don't know if it's like the transition of the track, but it's like literally it feels like you're going over a pothole.
When
Right,
we were in
drop.
Branson, Missouri, there was a pothole on Outlaw Run at the bottom
Yeah,
of the
I found
first
that.
hill.
You had to sit on a non-wheel seat, which was always the first seat of every car.
Yeah.
So the very, very back row seat was probably like the worst.
That was
Right.
bad. That was bad. You're going,
Yeah.
especially like the first time, so I didn't know it was there. Oh, that hurt.
Just like
First time in a while, anyway.
vertebrae.
Yeah, it just your spine just telescopes. Just
I lost 4 inches of height riding this.
Well, I joked that, like, because I had the hiccups really bad one time,
oh, I
While
forgot about
riding it?
this.
and I said, okay, for science, we're going to see if Outlaw Run can cure my hiccups, and it did.
It's just such a violent experience.
When you
I
have
got
kids,
off and I did not have hiccups anymore.
when you and Bree have kids and they start getting hiccups, you're like, all right, load up. We're going to ride a roller coaster.
We're going for a drive. I'll take care
Let's
of this
find some
lickety split.
potholes.
Let's go find some potholes.
Let's drive to Pennsylvania.
the-
Boom, 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 boom.
Hey, they're gone.
Any roller coaster that was designed before computers was basically designed using circles and straight lines. And they didn't understand the concept of like your center of gravity. So like if you ride a modern roller coaster, like it'll be banking and like the way it banks, it feels natural because you know where your center of gravity is.
Mm-hmm.
Like it'll just be kind of banking like that. But an old school coaster banks more like that as opposed to like this. So that's why like you'll be riding a corkscrew and it'll be going down and it's all like and it's like super
We're
awkward.
getting jostled around like
Yeah.
a weeble wobble. Like,
Somebody's like, oh, there's a volleyball flying through the air. Oh, wait, no, wait, that's somebody's head.
like that explains the overhead restraints, like the big black restraints
Right.
that just keep you scrunched in there so you don't fly out.
Speaking of things flying through the air, I was recently reading an article about the whole like the whole flat Earth conspiracy that's out there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
There was some people like some flat earthers being like, okay, well, if the Earth is round, then how come when you're flying in an airplane and you're traveling against the Earth's rotation, how come you don't arrive there like so much sooner than if you're traveling with the Earth's rotation? And I loved the way the article described it. And it was like, okay, well, let's just say that you can jump really, really high. And they calculated the Earth's rotation. They're like, okay, if you were to go on a trampoline and let's just say you were able to remain airborne for 3 seconds, if their theory is right, you would end up 0.86 miles away where you originally jumped.
Dude,
And they're
imagine you hop up in the air and a tree just flies by and takes you out,
That sounds like a Gary's Mod bit or something.
So like they're like, okay, so if you follow the flat earthers' logic, basically there should be like just children just flying through the air at incomprehensible speeds all the time. And it's like, being that that isn't the case, like,
which at that point, like, what do you even need to fly for? Or cars? You just gotta jump.
Yeah, you'd be like, all right, let's bounce. Boing.
Anyways, my bro, I gotta bounce.
Just Superman.
the whole flat Earth conspiracy just cracks me up so much. I just want to like take those people and like bring them up into space and be like, see,
I just find it so funny just because like they go about trying to prove themselves correctly. You know, they go about through the scientific process. The problem is every time they do it, they're proven wrong and they just refuse to acknowledge it.
And there's no convincing them otherwise. If you take them up into space and they see the round Earth, they'll be like, how do I know I'm not looking at this through a television screen? You know? Like, there's no convincing these people.
Yeah, how can you prove that this is actually a window?
Yeah, smash the window, you know? Like,
oh my gosh. All right, let's take you outside. Let's go for a spacewalk, my friend.
My theory with the flat earthers is I think that the idea of the Earth being round and the idea of space being infinite terrifies them.
You know, I think you're right. I think I don't know. I'm not sure what the mentality behind it is, but it's interesting to me.
Yeah.
How somebody comes to that conclusion.
Like, according to modern science, like, everything is relative physically. So, like, not only is the Earth spinning, but it's going around the sun, but the sun is also moving around the galaxy, and the galaxy itself is moving. Mm-hmm. And so, like, we're just hurling through space, going who knows where at any given moment. And apparently, if you think about it too much, like, it can give you an existential crisis.
It's wild. But it's like, yeah, it's crazy to think about.
So it's much easier to go like, okay, the universe is only what I can see. It's much more comprehensible. Therefore, you can chill out because based on what you see.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. Plus, like, here's the thing: if the Earth is rotating at 1,000 miles an hour and you're stationary on the surface, are you also not going at 1,000 miles an hour? So if you jump into the air, like for 3 seconds, you're going at the same rate as the ground below you. Like,
what would happen was you jump up in the air, and then the friction from the air would just like kill you instantly.
It's how you just skin yourself, and that'd be it.
You hop like, Timmy, don't jump! Jumps and
the sound barrier breaks, and you never see him again.
He's just gone.
I want somebody to like create a sci-fi planet where it's like that.
Just different,
like a Futurama episode or something.
We're just physics works differently here for whatever reason. We don't know why. It just does.
It just does. It reminds me of like the old Superman movie where he flies around the planet to reverse time.
Yeah, that's sort of thing.
Reverses the rotation of the Earth. It's like, meanwhile, somebody was looking at that, they're like, he just killed everyone on the planet. Yep. He just instantly reversed the rotation, meaning the friction alone from the air's rotation would kill everyone.
1,000-mile-an-hour winds.
Just like scorched Earth.
Yeah, like everything catches fire.
Here's what I think would actually happen, because it's the rotation of the Earth that produces the gravity, right?
Right.
So, I thought it was mass.
Like, it's not like if the Earth wasn't.
It's also
rotating,
mass, though. True. That Kyle's right. It's also mass.
Oh, okay.
That's why the moon's gravity is lesser, because it's a smaller mass.
Yeah. If physics was only spin, we'd be flying away.
That's true. That's also true. Yeah, can you imagine? Without gravity, it's just like the second we exist.
Yeah.
It's gone. Have you seen that meme about the flat Earth theory, where somebody's making memes about the flat Earth theory, and it's like, oh, here's what actually happened to the dinosaurs.
Yeah,
and the asteroid hits the Earth on one side and catapults all the dinosaurs off of it.
That video is amazing. I love it.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It's great. No, if you want to talk like spin gravity, you gotta make a ring and you're facing inwards.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Which is still technically theoretical because they haven't been able to figure out if that actually works.
Yeah, if you can, yeah, can you at least do it without vomiting? You know?
Right, exactly. With the G-force alone.
Yeah, yeah, it's still.
It is fun to think about, though.
I mean, if that could be real, that would be awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
O'Neill cylinders
Well,
can be
that's
an
like
actual thing.
that's like when you put water in a bucket and you swing it over your head, the water doesn't fall out.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but the water's
Or,
also
like-
not a living thing.
It's like, but literally though, there's an amusement park ride where you
The
jump
Gravitron?
inside a giant, yeah, and it just pins you to the wall. And if it's spinning fast enough, I've seen it where people can like pretty much like stand, like I don't know if I think they're like standing on its side or something.
Yeah, yeah, I've seen the pictures. Have you seen the Ripon copy pasta?
No, I do not know what that is.
It was let me pull it up. Basically, like the way it's worded is part of what makes it funny. But it just tells the story of someone who stood on the Gravitron and he leaned backwards too far and he fell through the canopy and he landed in someone's backyard.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. That's terrifying.
Yikes. You're just like leaning back for fun, and then now all of a sudden you're flying through the air. Wow.
Yeah, like
It's not flying through the air that sucks, it's the landing.
yeah.
That's the thing. I'm not scared of heights. I'm scared of falling from that height.
He ripping through the canvas ceiling above him. I guess it fling him about a block away before he landed in somebody's yard. They still use the same machine, but there's a huge duct tape patch over one of those triangles in the ceiling.
The fact that they don't fix it. Oh my gosh.
Now it's 4chan. We don't know, but, you know, it's still funny to think about. I hope it's not real. That could kill somebody if you land wrong.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Because I mean, how fast do those things get going?
I don't know, like fast enough to do damage, I guess, if you're stupid. What are you trying to find, Ivan?
24 revolutions per minute.
24 revolutions per minute? That sounds oddly specific.
Oh man, that means I'd have to do some math, figure out how fast it's going.
Oh no, yeah, no, like none of us are mathematicians.
Ugh. I never took physics, so I don't.
Mom and Dad talked me out of taking physics.
I talked myself out of taking physics. I was like, this isn't gonna go well. It's like, I know myself. If I know anything, I know myself, and I know this is not going to work.
But when you're riding the Gravitron, you are experiencing 3 times the force of gravity.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds fast enough to do damage if the whole thing just flies apart.
Oh, for sure. Let's just say, hypothetically, that in the midst of functioning and spinning around, this machine completely disassembles.
Okay,
It's safe to assume that perhaps the parts might slightly disassociate.
It's a linear 37.44 miles per hour.
Oh, dang.
Ooh, okay.
I mean, yeah, that's definitely enough to kill you.
Yeah.
It's like getting hit by a car.
Yep, that would do the trick.
Oof.
But it's interesting. Like, I love how, like, back to the flat Earth article you were talking about, like getting on a plane. Like, there is a difference flying with the Earth's rotation and flying against it. Like, especially over a long period of time. Like,
right.
Like you remember when we flew to the UK and then flying back.
No, I don't think that has anything to do with the Earth's rotation. I think that has to do with just the wind currents.
Wind currents. Well, Yeah, that's definitely a part of it. But I'm also talking like time zone differences.
Well, yeah,
But that's
but
due to the
like
rotation of the sun more than anything.
like physically, it doesn't actually like make a difference.
Well, no, I mean not from like a flat Earth point of view. Like there's not that big of a difference. But I notice like every time when you fly to Europe, like the jet lag is worse than when you fly back to the United States.
Really?
Yeah. Like I remember the flying to Europe in 2018, and I remember feeling a little sick for the first day or so. The first day or two, I was feeling a little ill, but I got over it. And but then the flight back, I felt great. And when we flew to the UK the following year, I remember being tired, but I kind of knew what to expect. So as a result, I think my body kind of knew what to do to mitigate the effects. But then when we flew back again, it was great.
I mean, that could just be that you're physically prepared. You know what to expect
Right.
on
Well,
the
yeah.
trip back. So it could be that too, but I don't know.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know. Like, yeah, maybe it's just me, or I don't know if other people could relate. Maybe they don't. I'm sure like not
It was
everyone.
kind of the same experience for me.
Yeah, not everyone does jet lag the same.
I'm kind of thinking it's probably because when you're flying to Europe, you're jumping ahead,
Yeah.
whereas when
Yeah,
you're
you're
flying back,
losing time, kinda.
well, you kind of it's more like you get it back. Because like, what would be harder if you were to like be picked up and plopped down somewhere, and like it's like 11:10 right now, but let's say suddenly now let's make it 8 hours ahead, 7:10
Oh, you're right.
p.m.
Yeah, that would mess with you.
Right. Yeah, that would mess with you. Whereas if you were to be picked up and put down someplace, and instead of being 11:10 right now it's now it's 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, great! I could go back to sleep.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. You can immediately recover without it being so drastic.
I think that's just what it has to do with. It's always easier traveling west because it's like you're getting that time back.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, it's more of a time zone thing.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I think that's cool. But yeah,
Plus that's when you'd want to get the most rest anyways on the trip back. You've had a long vacation.
Yeah,
you want
true.
to rest.
If you're an American visiting Europe, like a European visiting the United States or Canada would definitely have a hard time coming back. But if that person were to say,
that's just because they understand that America's better, and they don't want to leave.
Oh god.
Crap, I gotta go back to beans and toast.
I wasn't prepared for that. I gotta go back to mostly cloudy, like 350 days of the year.
God.
Well, that's more the UK specifically. Like other parts of Europe don't get that bad weather as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, it's because it's the UK.
It's just there's like the UK is kind of locked in its own like barrier of depression. There's an invisible barrier that you cross. When you cross the channel into France, you're instantly happier. No wonder the French are so upset about tourists. You people are so miserable. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I mean, that's basically what this whole conversation is. We don't know what we're talking about,
but I think we have successfully produced another successful podcast. What do you say? Should we wrap this up? We've been going for an hour 15 minutes now.
Yeah, probably.
So yeah.
I think we're good.
All right.
Hungry.
Awesome. Oh yeah, it's almost 11:30. Yeah, we should definitely break for food. Well,
I think
Ivan,
we've kept Ivan chilling in his truck by a water side for too long.
yeah, thanks for joining us,
I'm
dude.
debating. Yeah, no problem. It was a pleasure.
What were you
Debating
debating
whether or not I want to go back out fishing or not.
Oh.
They're luring you in again, man.
You want the fish?
Man,
Got too many fish
this will
on
be the one.
Yeah.
Yep. This is it. This cast the cast. We're gonna get it this time.
This is the big one.
This is the big one.
Tap into that Minnesota mentality.
Yeah, you're trying to recreate the days when we lived in Minnesota and you could just walk to the lake, just catch a bath, go up to dad. Hey, can you cook this? Like.
Yeah. I know those days were amazing.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, there was no like recreating that. Unless
Nope, not unless we move back there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean as far as Minnesota is concerned, yeah. Like I know there are lakes and other spots like in Omaha and stuff that you and Bree might be considering, but we don't know where you're gonna end up.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right. Well, in the meantime, yeah, I'll just kind of enjoy it the way it is, and I'll see you guys next time, whenever that is.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Cool hanging out. See you guys.
All right.
Yep. See ya.
See you
Bye.
around. Thank you for watching.